How's it going, guys? Welcome back. I wanted to do a quick POV video of the tools that I use to work on my bike once in a while. I also want to let you guys know that I didn't buy all these tools at once. I just slowly started building up on stuff when I needed jobs done on my bike. Like for example, when I needed a bleed kit when I had Shimano's, I went ahead and purchased it. Went on YouTube and learned how to do it. Also bought a bike stand, to help myself kind of work on my bike a little more comfortable without killing my back. So little things like that kind of just built up. The first thing I want to talk about is my bike stand. This is probably one of the first things I got. I got it on eBay for like 35 bucks. And it works really good. It opens up like that. And then you can kind of go up and down on this, depending on how high you want the bike. You clamp that down. And then, actually, let me turn this a little bit. And then it has this little lever that kind of swings the bike however it wants to. So let me go ahead and slap on my bike, kind of show you how I do it. I've always put it on the dropper post and I've never had an issue with it. So pretty much just kind of set the bolts on there, the saddle bolts, clamp it down. It's not fully like clamped down. I always worked like this and it was fine. I kind of let the bike just sit, do its own thing, and then close the little lever and the bike doesn't move anymore. So yeah, so it allows me to work on the bike standing up with no issues, derailleur adjustments and all that. The next thing I want to show you guys is my little red stool. This thing is awesome. 20 bucks at Harbor Freight. Full disclaimer, there's a lot of stuff from Harbor Freight. If you don't like Harbor Freight, my bad. It's just you get a lot more bang for your buck. And I also know that not all the tools are the same, and some Harbor Freight tools are pretty much trash, but some things do work, like this little stool right here. It was 20 bucks with a coupon. It allows me to move around my bike, Yes, why do you have a stand? I don't know, it just brings it up. It's easier, like when I want to do like a chain guide. It has a little tray kind of built into it, so you could put your tools down, your little hexes, whatever you're going to be using. So that's why I love this little stool, because I can move around the bike freely, work on it. It's pretty easy. Okay, so let's move on to the next thing. This is my US General toolbox. I got this for Father's Day, so shout out to the missus for getting me that. It has really come in handy. I love it. Keeps everything organized, all in one place. It's a little cart that's rollable, so I can move this wherever I want. In case I want to do a video outside, I can roll it outside, Makes it easy to clean the garage out and stuff like that. So let's go ahead and start off on the side of this. So I got really lucky, picked up a vinyl cutter, and obviously I gotta keep my vinyl rolls somewhat organized, and I picked up these little like trash bag holders from IKEA, and the rolls fit perfectly through that, and I have them separated, shirt vinyl and sticker vinyl. I guess it kind of counts as a mountain bike related product, because this is how I cut my vinyl stickers for my handlebars or anything that I need pretty much on my bike or for my car, whatever. But yeah, let's go ahead and start off on the side on the toolbox. This is my little apron that I made, so in case I have nice clothes on, they don't get all dirty. Like last time I was cutting carbon fiber bars and I didn't want to get into the fibers inside the house, so this protected me somewhat. On the side of the cart, I have a little magnetic tray, so when I take the bike apart, I can put the screws all in one spot. I have a little glue gun to remove some stickers, whatever is on the bike. Royal blood for my Maguro brakes, some mineral oil again. Bike chain lube. I just tried this for the first time. It smells really good and it worked pretty good as well. It was cheap. It was like 10 bucks, so I'll keep using that for now. And I also have a Park Tool Trident like L wrench thing. It has a 4, 5 and a 6, so it makes it really easy for me to grab and put back, quick adjustments on the bike. Okay, so now let's take a look inside to see what I have. So I actually like to keep my rags organized from the dirtiest to the cleanest. Reason being is because I don't really wash these rags. I know you can probably wash them, they come out good as new, but I don't want to ruin my washer machine, so I use them as much as I can, and then once they become too dirty, I just pretty much toss them away. And I like to keep the cleanest one on top. Reason being is because I open this little tray up, I put the rag over here or the microfiber cloth, I put all the tools that I need, line them up. And when I work on my bike, I put all the bolts, and since it's yellow, everything stands out pretty good. So the chances of me losing a specific bolt or anything like that is really minimal. I also grab like a little tray, a magnetic tray, put it on there, put the screws on there, I just like to keep myself organized so it could be more efficient. Let's move on. On the side here, you can put some screwdrivers. I actually have some T sets. I'm not too sure what they're called, but this is a T25. That's pretty much the only one I use for my brakes. I have Maguras, and this is what you use to adjust the brake caliper. I have these little ones, to take clips off, on and off. Some of those clips are really tiny. I have some extra spacers, some grease. You can never have too much grease. Mineral oil again. This little thing is pretty cool, man. I like this a lot. I actually brought this over from my automotive toolbox since I use it so much for my bike stuff. It's a little digital caliper. It works really good. In case you need to find, a specific length on the bolt, you can use this really quick. Makes it easy, can measure a lot of cool things. It's pretty precise. I really like this. It's really useful. It was pretty cheap too. I want to say it was like around 15-20 bucks max. You know, it's Harbor Freight. Everything's pretty cheap there. And moving on to my most used tool, it's my Intense torque wrench set. The bits are really high quality. I've never been able to strip this out. I don't use this to break bolts. I use another wrench or ratchet, my bad. I use another ratchet to take the bolts off. This is my torque one. It works really good. You know, I have carbon fiber parts, so it's really essential to have a torque wrench. You don't want to over torque things, and you know, it's just peace of mind that you're torquing them to the right spec. And this is my first toolkit that I got. I got it from Performance Bicycles before they closed down. It has pretty much all the basic stuff that you would need. You know, chain breaker tool, some screwdrivers, some tire levers, chain whip. This chain whip is actually for like a 10 speed or 11 speed. I actually have an old chain that I want to slap on there for an eagle, so it makes it easier. You know, a couple little parts, patch kits, you know, spoke wrenches, stuff like that. It's another, moving on to another torque wrench, Harbor Freight as well. This is for something bigger. This is for inch pounds, I believe. Put that aside. All my little numbers for the 50-mile ride in Rosarito. If you guys never done this is a really fun ride. It's 50 miles. They close off the road. It's really fun. Shout out to the people that do that El Tigre climb, if you guys know what I'm talking about. Okay, we have slick honey, you know, some, you know, lube up some cables or whatever. Some fiber grip for the carbon fiber bars and parts. Another torque wrench. This is from my automotive, you know, it's the bigger one. Foot-pounds. Okay, so let's go move on to the left drawer, and this is pretty much my rat nest drawer. I have the lights, cables for the vinyl cutter, you know, miscellaneous stuff, pretty much nothing. I have the little clamps that I used to cut the carbon fiber bar last time, if you guys saw my previous video. And here we have all my T-handles. These are from Harbor Freight as well. They work really decent. They work, you know. I wouldn't torque anything down with these, you know. Like I said, I always use the torque wrench for that. Brake blocks to bleed it. This thing's pretty cool. I found these on Amazon, I believe. And what these are for is to adjust the brake caliper. It works pretty good. So the way this works is that you you loosen up the caliper obviously first, and then you put this on the rotor like so, and then you slide this over to where the caliper's at, and then you do the whole procedure where you squeeze the lever, you know, to try to kind of set the caliper in the perfect center. So you squeeze the lever a couple times, you hold the lever down, you tighten up the bolts on the caliper. When you remove this, it should have enough space on the caliper to let the rotor float freely. Like I said, I've had some success on it. I want to say it works 90% of the time, but I use this to adjust the brake calipers. And these are by far, I know I already said it before, these are by far the best levers I've ever had. I've had these for years. I've still not broken one. I can't recommend them enough. They're really good. Power link removers, quick links, whatever you want to call it. You know, you always want to have a needle nose. I also have a little brake hose cutter. This is only for brake hoses. It will not work for cable housing because cable housing has those wires going through it. But this works really good for the brake hoses. I bought this on Amazon as well. It was like $5 or $6. I actually made this tool for myself. When I bought my bike, it didn't come with a Fox like adjustment tool. So when I went out for quick rides, it was kind of hard to adjust this. So what I did, I went to Harbor Freight again, bought like a cheap L wrench set, cut the ones that I need for the high and low speed compression, you know, epoxy them together, and it works just fine. So when I want to go out and test and tune, pop this in the pocket and, you know, just do the adjustments on the trail. And this is my other ratchet. This is a pretty cheap one from Harbor Freight again. This is like $5 or $6. It's been working really good. It's composite, so it's light and it works good. I've used it as a hammer and it's still working pretty good. So yeah, there's another one from Harbor Freight. Move on to the third drawer. Like I said, this is kind of my miscellaneous drawer. I have a couple inner tubes, my brake bleeds. This is the Shimano one, the Magura one. You know, some zip ties. You always got to get zip ties. Harbor Freight cheap. Electrical tape to make, you know, cables nice and clean. I bought all these little cable ends for like $5 as well on Amazon. But yeah, like I said, I have miscellaneous stuff. Cable cutters. I don't even remember how long I had these for, but I've always had them in my automotive toolbox to cut cables. It works really great for brake cables, so I went ahead and stole it from the automotive, and now it's on the bike drawer. On my last drawer, this is where I keep all my riding gear. I like I said before, I like to keep everything in one spot. So in case I'm in a hurry, I just grab a shirt, shorts, grab my bike, and I'm out of here, you know? So I like to make it efficient as I can. And I'm moving on to the bottom. I'll go to the side. Starting from right to left, you know, some shock oil, some sealants, WD-40 for anything that needs to be broken off, an extra water bottle. And I have two spray bottles, one with isopropyl alcohol and the other one with soapy H2O, you know, in case I get back from a ride and I feel like something's leaking on my tire or my rim, I can just spray it down really quick. It's really good to have in handy, you know, or I have to clean something off, whatever, you know, I have it ready to go. Instead of looking for some soap and water, I have it all ready to go. $5 bottles. And this alcohol, you know, when I do brake jobs, really good to clean. As you guys know, isopropyl alcohol is really good for cleaning brake stuff because it doesn't leave any residue. You don't get any funny squeaking afterwards, so it's really good to clean parts, especially on bikes. I got some, you know, some transfer tape and some extra vinyl right here, extra bike parts, my vinyl like weeding tools and stuff like that. I have a cooler. This is mountain bike specific, so when I want to take some brewskis for a ride for the homies, it's ready to go. This is for my Switch Infinity grease gun. Last but not least, this is my crown race tool. This is where I used to slam the crown race down to the fork. It works really good. I'm gonna go ahead and leave a link to the description of the YouTube video that showed me how to make this tool. But yeah, it works really good. Used it a couple times already. Have that there in case I ever need to use it again. And that's pretty much it. That's pretty much all the tools I use to work on my bike. I know it's a lot. I'm sorry if I talk too much, but I just wanted to give you guys the best explanation that I can give you. It's a really good investment to keep everything together. You know, like I said before, whatever makes it more efficient to like work on a bike, because you know, sometimes it can be really stressful. So hopefully this kind of gives you an idea what you can do to organize your tools. There is some investment in it, but at the end of the day, it's really good to do your own work on the bike. So that's pretty much my toolbox. If you have any questions, go ahead and leave a comment down below. I'll try to answer them as best as I can. Thank you for watching. We'll see you guys in the next video.